Hello and welcome to another 5-minute webinar. I'm your host, Adam. Please be sure to tweet your questions and comments to hashtag 5minutes. Our presenter today is Mick Jolly. Mick, what is your big idea?
Excellent. Well, my big idea is that academics do have a place in law enforcement, Adam. So we've all heard some form of the statement, those who can do, those who can't teach. While most of us would agree there's no substitute for real world boots on the ground experience, the reality is that we can't experience all things at all times in all places. So we need the opportunity to learn from others. Experience is something that needs to work together with training, with academics, in order to be able to have success out in the field for law enforcement, not just law enforcement, in any industry, but law enforcement is so critical, where life safety is really a factor. Julius Caesar made the statement that experience is the teacher of all things. But just acknowledging Julius Caesar's statement, we're showing that we need to learn from the academics. We learn from the past experience of others. We learn from their mistakes, the things that they've done, good or bad. Next slide, please. So, again, as said, we need that real-world boots-on-the-ground experience. It helps us be aware of our strengths, our weaknesses, our knowledge, our skills, our abilities, and not just our own, but those of the people that we work together with. If there's other people that we're showing up to a call with or that we're doing an investigation with, understanding their approach and being unified in that approach helps us to be more successful. So we're working together, not against each other. I've seen times when arrests have been made where two people were not equally trained, and you got one person who's trying to do everything right and the other person who's getting right in the middle of it because they just did not invest the time to learn the skills necessary to put those cuffs on that individual, to control that person, train that person. And that's just a real simple, straight up physical example, but there's so many other areas where we need that training beyond the minimum standards. That training can come in the form of understanding psychological cues to tell if a person is lying to us or not when we're interviewing them. It can come from the form of recognizing mental illness so we can properly approach somebody that otherwise we could ignite a real problem if we don't understand what it is that they're all about. But by recognizing, hey, there's some issues here with mental illness, then we can more appropriately deal with that person, help that person safely get transitioned into whether it be a mental health checkup, or whether it be that we need to actually make a physical arrest or get them in for some kind of medical attention. If we don't recognize those cues, then it can become a very volatile circumstance. In fact, we talk often about the 3 deadly Ds, drunk, drugged, deranged. Well, we need to recognize what those signs are so that we can deal with them appropriately. They're all different, but they can all be very volatile if handled incorrectly. All right. So again, academics do have an important place in law enforcement. They've enhanced everything from our reporting systems to dispatch systems to you name it. All kinds of different things that have been improved. Tasers, body cameras, dash cameras, radios, firearms, all those things have been improved by people looking at it from an academic approach and how to enhance or improve the law enforcement industry. Certainly there's a lot of input from law enforcement that goes into making those things work, making those things successful. But again, I liken just in the firearm, I liken driving a Model T Ford across the country. Well, we probably don't want to use a 6-shooter if there's better tools available. It's not to say that's not a viable firearm, but there are some other tools that can help us do our job better today because of improvements in engineering and design and dispatch systems. If an officer had to show up and develop his own firearm, develop his own method of report writing, develop his own method of even contacting the public or communicating with the public that there's a problem, and all the other tools are involved, again, we rely upon that academic experience, because if we had to do that, it would be a disaster. But because we can rely upon and stand on the shoulders of those that have gone before us and developed the tools and developed the experience and training, then we can be more successful. Next slide, please. So if you'd like to learn more about any of these ideas, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm Mick Jolly with Risk Solutions Unlimited. RSU-Global is the website. You can call me at 360-319-3988. The reality is that we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to the public we serve to seek out a higher level of skill and training so that as we do encounter these new situations, we can rely upon the experience that others have had before us and then adapt to our own unique situation we may find ourselves in at any given point in time. Thank you very much.
All right, excellent. Well, that's all we have for today. Again, please be sure to tweet your questions and comments to hashtag 5minutes. Mick, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.